Hey guys, Coriel here, Twitchers Fishing, and got one of these square bill crankbaits loaded up. I apologize, last week I wasn't able to get anything filmed and put onto YouTube, but we're going to change that this week. So I got this primed in some titanium white, and I had bought some of this Deco Art. I'm trying to remember where I picked this up from. I think honestly the dollar store, and I thought, why not give it a try? This is a sour apple green. And we're gonna just mix it with a little bit of flow improver, and I might do a little bit of reducer, 4011 reducer. But let's try it. Let's see how it sprays. I think I got 4 or 6 colors for I think they're $1.50 each. So if it sprays, fantastic. If it doesn't, well, we know for next time. And I think I'll thin it 1 drop, and then I'll do a couple drops of flow improver. Then we'll just mix it in the paint cup here. And okay, so 3 drops of flow improver, 1 drop of thinner, and I did about 8 drops of paint. So let's just give this a little mix, and we'll see. I'm about 25 psi right now, so we'll run it a little bit more to hopefully get this stuff to spray. It's a little bit thick, but let's just do a quick test, because you never know. Okay, let's see what happens. Definitely going on a lot lighter than I was expecting it. Right now she's laying on a lot thicker than I'd like, but I'm gonna make it work. Kind of a cool color though. Sour apple, I like it. It reminds me of a largemouth bass almost, this color. Let's just mix this up in this paint cup a little bit more. Just wondering if I should maybe thin it. I'm gonna put 2 more drops of thinner. We'll see if we can't get this to spray a little bit better. Let's get this quick mix. Okay, let's see what happens. Well, I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it is spraying. It's leaving a weird texture though. I don't know if that's just splatter. Doesn't look like it. Definitely a little bit weird. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to do some experimenting with this to see if I can't get the consistency much better than what it is. Okay, good enough. So got the next color loaded up, and I just went straight to the black. And because these are those W lures, I do have these little stencils. So I picked one that is gonna kind of best suit our needs here. And we'll just get this thrown on. Okay, so it doesn't quite fit. So I'm gonna show you guys a little secret if you guys have any stencils that are 3D printed. Okay, just so you don't scratch the shit out of your paint. You just take your blow dryer, your heat gun, whatever you have, and you just heat these up. You know, it doesn't take much, but you can heat them up enough that you can actually start to bend them. Okay. Now all you do is, I don't know if you can see how well that actually bends, but it's quite nice now. Then once it starts to cool off, it'll hold its shape to whatever you kind of bent it to. So, right, there we go. Now that fits much better. It doesn't have to be a perfect fit. We'll hold it in place anyways. So, let me just move this bottle out of the way here. Okay, let's just, because we don't want to spray too much paint. So I did put a little bit of flow improver in here too. Now what the flow improver does, it helps with tip dry. So, and I've actually noticed a huge difference already. So we're gonna just spray this on, and we're gonna try and spray it on somewhat light. Then we can darken it up as we go. We just don't want to spray too heavy right off the bat. Try and avoid any splatter. Okay. Carefully lift that off. There we go. Now, what I wish I had, and I don't know if this stencil is going to cut it, but let's just try and find something with, what could we use here? Just bear with me as I kind of search through the pile here. I'm wondering if we can maybe like something a little bit smaller if possible. You know what? This might actually cut it. Okay. And we're going to just start on the cardboard and work our way up. Perfect. It's kind of giving us the effect that we're after. Okay. Now we're going to do the same on the other side. Let's grab our stencil here. We might have to do the same thing. We might have to heat it up, and you can kind of see same thing. Doesn't fit. I don't know if you see the gap there. So let's give her a little bit of heat. This is my wife's blow dryer. She's got a, I don't know, she's replaced it. But anyways, this thing is freaking hot. It definitely does what it's supposed to. I can't even hold these in my hand when that thing is running. Just an insane amount of heat it puts out. Okay, there we go. So same thing, gonna kind of hold her in place there. And to avoid any splatter, we're gonna just start on the stencil itself. And same thing. Light coats, and we just build it up as we go. Darken it up. Okay. God, my hands are shaky. All right. And it was this one here. Starting to get a little bit of tip dry, I'm noticing. And come up just a little bit higher. All right. And like usual, let's we're gonna darken up our eyes here. I'm gonna just see if I can't. Okay, there we go. Well, I didn't want to get that splatter there, but it worked out in our favor, so. We shall leave it. All right. So let's I think let's not exactly sure. What do we do now that this really isn't a bass? Okay, let's darken up the back here a little bit. Kind of like that's a little bit blotchy. do a little bit more. Okay. Something like that. I actually really like the way that's turned out, because you still get that green peering through. So, okay, guys. So the final color I've got loaded up here, I did a little bit of this translucent lemon yellow, and we're gonna cover the entire bait in this, but we're gonna do it at a distance. Okay, so we just want to mist it. That's kind of what we're going to end up with. That thing is sweet looking. Let's just let you guys take a look at that close up. That is very, very cool. That turned out wicked. Now, you might notice that I didn't tape the bill on this, and to be quite honest with you, I've actually stopped taping the bill because I think the paint just adds a little bit to it. You know, like, just to give you an example, let me just show you guys a couple that I did paint where I did the bills completely. These are painted on some DT10s. These are actually going to be for sale, so check out my my Facebook store, because I will have a whole bunch of these up for sale. But this is a perch pattern that I was kind of messing around with, and if you take a look, I painted the bill. I just think it looks better with the bill painted. I really do. And my other reasoning for doing this is with the bill being painted, because we're painting the entire lure. You know, it doesn't matter how thick you spray the paint on, you're changing the characteristics of the way it swims from the weight. So if we're only spraying the bait itself, and we're not spraying the bill, is that changing? Is it more tail heavy at that point? Like, I don't know. So, and here's another variation that I was on the DT10 I was messing around with, and again, same thing. You can see I've got the bill painted. These, oops, as I drop it, these have not been clear coated yet. When they get clear coated, they're gonna look fantastic. But again, like, I don't know. I think with the bills being painted, I really do think that's a better looking lure. And again, once they get cleared, they're gonna look they're gonna just look that much better, right? Because I mean, everything just looks better once it gets cleared. The colors just pop. So, but yeah, let me get the airbrush cleaned out. The only other thing I could see us potentially doing on this bait is we did leave the belly white. I'm wondering if we should just maybe throw a little bit of pearl white on the belly, just to give it a little bit of that sparkle. I think actually that's what we'll end up doing. And yeah, then we'll eye it. We'll throw some eyes on it just in case anybody doesn't know what eye it means. And then yeah, that'll take care of this one. So again, let me get the airbrush cleaned out. We're gonna load up the pearlized white by Createx. This stuff, you do not need to use any flow improver. This stuff sprays like a bat out of hell straight out of the bottle here. Just shake it good. Okay, so we'll be right back. Got that pearlized white loaded up, and I took it out of the helping hands. Instead, I just got these clamps here that we're going to use. I've started to try and be a little bit more resourceful in using other things rather than just relying on the helping hands, and it seems to work better. It really does. Okay, so like I said, I threw about 5 drops in. That's honestly probably going to be perfect. No flow improver. I did turn my pressure down too. I'm running about 18 psi right now. So like this, like I said, this stuff does spray extremely well. There we go. Let's just heat set that because it did go on just a little bit too thick. Okay, but you can see the difference that stuff makes. It just brightens that right up. That pearl really does start to come through. We could do a little bit up near the throat there, but here is the problem I run into. I usually try and do more than I should. So right now, I know I should leave it, but the other part of me wants to just do a little bit more. But then if I do a little bit more, do I ruin it? I mean, there's a very good chance I do. And I mean, this thing looks fucking badass right now. Like, I'm so stoked with how this turned out. Even that sour like candy apple green. Yeah, I mean, it looks awesome. So I think I'm gonna leave it because, like I said, I don't want to ruin it. So let's figure out some eyes for this guy. And you know what? Let's just What's the problem sometimes is you wish you had 8 arms. I don't want to set this bait down either right now because I'm not 100% sure it's dry, but fuck's sakes. Let me just get a clean paper towel here and I'll see if I can't set this down somehow so it doesn't ruin the paint on it or scratch it up. I mean, you don't want to go through all this effort in painting something only to scratch the crap out of it, and it just looks like shit anyways. Okay. Is alligator clips are shot on here. If you need alligator clips for your helping hands, the best place to go, dollar store. You can get like 10, I think, for $2. So anyways, let me just adjust the camera here a little bit. I wasn't actually paying attention, so my apologies, guys. Sorry if you're getting a little sick there. There we go. Okay, let's figure out some eyes on this guy. And one thing I'm gonna say as well is if you're painting a bait and you have maybe too much of one color and you think you should add in a little bit of something else to kind of just offset that one color, do it with the eyes. It's amazing what the eyes will do. Like, we could do green eyes on this, sure. Are we going to? No, probably not, because we have a lot of green on here already. I'm gonna do orange, yellow, the purple. I actually kind of want to do light blue. I don't know why, but if we just kind of hold that up to there, or do we just do some, yeah, I think those guys right there. I think that's the one. So for the clear coat I've been using KBS, but I see a lot of people are using that Illumi UV. And honestly, it actually kind of seems to be a little bit better. It dries a lot faster, obviously, especially when you're running it on a turner with some UV lights. So that may be something I will look into the future. I'm gonna obviously use up all the KBS that I have because I got a crap load of it still, and stuff is not cheap, so might as well use it if you got it. And what we can do, so we're not wasting, is I use toothpicks to stir the paint up in the mixing cup on the brush itself. You just break off the end of it that's got the paint on it. And that's what I use for the glue. So I just dip the end of that into the glue, and then I just dab around the eye there, set my eye. Right. You don't want to use too much glue because you don't want to run. And it seemed like every time I tried to do it out of the bottle, I had nothing but problems. I did way too much glue. Of course, that's not nearly enough. There we go. Let's just get the eye set on there. I definitely think I made the right choice for the eyes. I think that's hands down the color to go. Let's see if I can't get this to focus a little bit better. Jesus. I'm not filming with my typical camera. I'm actually filming off my phone right now. It's been a little bit of a challenge in case you guys haven't noticed. Okay. Jesus. And that's our finished crankbait. That's what we ended up with. Very simple. What we could have done too is we could have actually ran some of that white up the sides just a little bit, but honestly, that's gonna catch fish. So fantastic, looks awesome. Yeah, like I said, I stopped taping the bills. I think painting the bills just adds a little bit. I don't know. I quite enjoy the way they look with the painted bills. So there's another one. What started off as maybe a largemouth bass, obviously did not maintain course there. It's definitely not a largemouth bass, but it's cool, and that's all that matters. But anyways, guys, it's Corey with Twitchers Fishing. I will see you guys next week. In the meantime, stay creative, keep painting, tight lines. Bye.